Welcome to Body Buddies, home of the Power Foods lifestyle. Take it one meal, one workout, one day at a time. And now, here's the founder of Body Buddies, Kristy Jo.
Welcome to the Body Buddies podcast. I'm Kristy Jo, your host, and I am excited you are here. If you are new, welcome. You're in for a treat. And if you're returning, thank you for being a loyal listener. Before we dive into today's interview with Monica, I would just like to invite all of you who are not yet in our free Facebook group, Power Foods Lifestyle Champions, to head over there and request to join. I'm the only admin of the group, so I will personally, accept you in. But this is a great place to get ideas, to share stories, and to support each other. It's not a place, unfortunately, that I give free advice. For that, you need to be in my membership site at bodybuddiesworld.com. But I will give ideas and provide feedback and likes and things like that. So this is a place for all of our body buddies to be there and support each other. So I would love to introduce Monica Olbando. She is a successful hypnotherapist. She's been running her healthy living coach practice for over 3 years, where she has helped a lot of people just like you to successfully live a better life. She can teach you how to manage your emotions and raise your self-esteem. You are not alone. With her unique perspective on modern life, she can help you find the solutions to your mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and environmental needs for our present world. Sometimes it's complicated, but that is why she's here, because she truly believes your wellness comes first. She is here to help you understand better the world around you. Some of the topics we're going to cover in our discussion include how parents can help their children to have a good relationship with food, some of the dangers in parenting and overemphasizing the need for healthy food, some key phrases that will help with helping kids learn what foods they should eat, what we need to understand about child psychology when it comes to helping kids have healthy habits, tips that she would give parents who are struggling with their own body weight and image and finding their children picking up those dialogues and behaviors as well. So we had a great conversation. So you guys are going to love her, and she has a free gift at the end. So be sure you listen to the entire episode and we will go from there. So now I'd love to introduce Monica Olbando. Well, hello, Monica. How are you this morning?
Hi, Kristy. I'm well. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be in your podcast. I'm so excited today.
Oh, we are the blessed ones, so we're excited to learn from you today. So let's dive right in. We've got so much to talk about.
I know.
Monica, tell us what your opinion is of what it means to power your body.
When I think about powering my body, I think about energize it in so many levels, in the spiritual level, the physical and emotional levels too. So when I say spiritual, I see like a practice in meditation is what I do every single day. When I practice my meditation, I go into my momentum, into my space, so I quiet my mind and I connect with my own self. Practicing forgiveness is extremely important because we have the tendency to carry on those chains, the baggage that is not needed. However, we are carrying it every single day. So it's time for you to stop a moment and start forgiving a person, forgiving a situation, forgiving yourself for the way you feel about the situation of the person. So something else in the spiritual level is to create a journal and start journaling, finding your purpose in life, finding what is good for you, what you like to do. So that way you can start journaling, and then you'll see mirror what you're thinking. Your thoughts are going to be in writing, and you're going to be so excited and so amazed when you see in writing what you're thinking. You will be amazed, and then the changes will come eventually. So it's a beautiful process. And the physical level, exercising, obviously, that's number one. For example, I am a yoga teacher, so because it's low impact, and it's a way for you to meditate while you practice, so I recommend it pretty much. Going into nature, walk around nature, listen to the nature. Don't just plug in your fun and listen to music, because the music is everywhere. You can listen, you can hear the birds singing, and you can hear the many sounds of the trees, of the leaves that go down, and you will see and you will be so amazed. So eating well, obviously eating healthy. So it's good for you to be educated about the way you eat, about the foods that you consume. So it's something really, really good. And obviously sleeping well. Sleeping well, that's something to energize and power your body in a physical level. Now, in the emotional level, for me, is kind of like avoid the toxic surroundings. So that you can see that lots of toxic surroundings, especially when you are in the workplace. You have the tendency to have those coworkers that are making your life so miserable every single day, and you are like, no more. You can't take it anymore. So it's time for you to start going away from that people, to find your zen place. You need to be optimistic every single day. When you notice that you are becoming toxic and you are complaining about something in your daily life, just stop for a moment and switch that negative thought into a positive and optimistic way of thinking. So you will see the results are going to be huge. Remember, where the mind goes, the energy flows, and the results show.
Wow, where the mind goes, the energy flows, and the results show. That's so beautiful.
Yes. So that means, for example, if you have something in your mind, a goal, so it's setting your mind into that goal. So that energy is going to flow into that power, into that goal, into that dream, and the results show sooner or later, believe me. So be careful what you wish for. So if you're so negative, it's time for you to stop being negative and be positive as possible in your life, and you will see how everything is going to shift in your life.
100%. Well, Monica, you know what I really love about all of that? First of all, I feel like just stamping an amen, like, okay, episode over, people. That's what we needed to know. Is you started out with the internal. Because of that energy, and you talked about the meditation and forgiveness and awareness, and that's where we're trying to go today with this conversation, is helping parents particularly think about their contribution to the way their children are viewing their health on a mental and emotional level. And so this podcast isn't necessarily, all you parents, we're not going to be saying, tell them to eat their broccoli. This is more of an internal, how are we coming across? And so I'm so excited you're here to help us. So let me ask you, Monica, first of all, how can parents even begin to help their children have a good relationship with food?
Education, that's the first step to me. When they become educated, as a parent, I have one 13 years old. It wasn't easy at the beginning, but it's educating myself. So when I know exactly what is a good and healthy food, I will be able to give that information into my children, into my case, into my son. So, for example, take him to places to visit farms. Go to farms and see where the food is coming from. Like the chicken is not coming from the freezer, but it's coming actually from an animal, a living animal. So they will have the opportunity to see the real life. That is extremely important, hands-on. Because parents, perhaps because we are working in a corporate environment, because we are so busy nowadays, we don't even know what a farm looks like today. So, take some time. Take your kids, make a family trip, and go and explore the surroundings and educate yourself what is in around, around the area and around the farms, and see how good everything else. Something else is when you connect with your own kids, when you connect with them, you will be able to give them that information. So you know your kids deeply and know. So emotional levels you connect. So know exactly what are they thinking about food, what exactly they want about food. Because sometimes they just want to have the sweet things, just the candies and stuff like that. So it's time for you to step in, but just, connect. By connecting is just letting them know that they are making the wrong choices. Don't overstep, demand or be a parent yourself. So just by connecting.
So when you say connect, I'm curious, if a parent didn't feel they had a connection with a child, if there's just some form of difficulty with communication, or maybe the parent isn't as self-aware or that emotionally aware, what are a few ways that they might start to cultivate that? Are there certain questions parents should be asking their children daily, or what are your thoughts on how that connection can begin?
One of the things that you as a parent can notice that there is no connection or something is missing in your connection with your own child is when they are acting up or they are not doing as you are supposed to, they are supposed to do when you tell them. So then you know that you have a problem and you feel tired and you don't even know where to begin or how to start that connection. So that is when the spiritual thing comes into place, the spiritual moment. So you need to stop for a moment, close your eyes, and think and pay attention to what exactly is bothering you and your kids. What reaction, what emotions are they having that you don't like about them? So take a moment, breathe, and then grab your journal. Write about what is exactly those situations. When you see them reflected, then you're going to notice that it's because of you. You are having something happening in your life that it has to do with that reaction in your kids. So it's about you. You are the first, as a parent, they reflect you. So you are pretty much the mirror. So be careful of whatever you do, whatever you say, the way you think, most likely they are going to act the same exact way. And that's why when you notice that that something is bothering you in them, it's because of you. You are not connected. You are not in that moment, in that particular situation. You need to straighten that in your life. So that way they will change immediately.
So then would that have any connection with children who maybe are a little more obsessive about food? That's something I hear from my clients a lot as we're conversing about their background, where their disordered mindsets around food may have come from, and ultimately it always comes back to childhood and the way that their parents ate or talked about food or obsessed about their own bodies. So you're saying that the children completely are reflecting the parents? Is there any situation that that's not the case?
For example, the thing is, we are working. We are so busy all the time. And at the moment when we get home, we are tired. We don't want to cook. We just want to have the freezer food. We just want to have something really quick, perhaps from the fast food store, stuff like that. So that's what the kids are seeing. They see the lack of time, the lack of interest from you to them. So it's something, that they see on a daily basis and they get used to. So you are so used to that you don't even notice that that's, like the other day I say to a client, the normal is the abnormal nowadays because we don't even pay attention to those little habits, because those are habits. Your mind is so ingrained in working full-time, then coming home, buying something from the food store and just serve really quick, and then tucking your kids into bed and watching TV and go to bed. That's it. You don't do anything else. You don't even give time to yourself. You don't even give time to your husband, your wife, or your kids, your entire family. So you are just living like a robot. So it's about that mindset is connecting again with your inner self, so that way you can recognize who you are or who you became, and if in reality that's the person that you want to be, and that's the parent that you want to be with your own kids. So that's when you have to pay attention to that.
Right. And so this all starts from a place of being self-aware. Well,
correct.
What I've observed, though, is now because of this whole body acceptance society that we're in, where being overweight is more the norm now, and I see this trend that I don't like, and I'm okay to say I really don't like it, where all of a sudden, if we're eating healthy, it's almost like that's shameful and that you're ashamed of your body because that means you need to go on a diet or you think you're fat. And I'm curious what your thoughts are, how parents can help their children who perhaps are at school getting programmed from the other kids that, oh, you're weird because you're eating healthy. How can parents help their children understand, no, this is actually the right thing that we're doing, eating healthy foods from the earth without it being weird or feeling obsessive or that we have to be on a diet?
Actually, the diet thing, the food, the nutrition is consequence of self-esteem. So when you have a kid with low self-esteem, obviously he or she are going to have image problems. When they see into the mirror, they will see too thin. They will see themselves as too fat, too big, too tall. So it's going to be like the low self-esteem. Also, so they need to be aware of that. So that is the emotional level that you need to tap in first. So they need to be in a really good self-esteem, strong self-esteem level. Then when you know that they are really strong, they know who they are, they know the real value, the real self-value, so then you have a strong kid. So then you know that regardless of what they say at school, if it's going to be weird or no, it's about their education, because you educate them, you gave them a strong foundation. They know who they are, so they are able to stand everything at school, because I know kids are really bullies at school, and they don't wanna have anything to do with healthy stuff. Some of them, but the majority is like no, it's not. Yeah, so it's a situation, but it's self-esteem. So when they know their real value, they know. But obviously, they will see the real self-value once you give them that, once you show them how important they are for you. And for them to know how important they are for you is you have to show yourself up as a parent. You have to be present. You have to be in every single moment, in every single step of their lives all the time. So for that, you need to know what kind of parent you are. If you are too permissive, if you are too authoritative, or if you are how are you as a parent? So, it's going deeper and deeper, peeling kind of layers. Because when we have kids, we don't have the manual to be parents. So we don't know. We
no
are
manual.
Pretty much, exactly. So we are giving pretty much the same information, the same education that our parents gave us when we were born. But the problem is that when we were born, it was no internet, it was no screen time like nowadays. So this is a totally different generation, completely different. So that's why we don't even know how to talk to them, because they seem to be smarter than you, because they are all the time in their computers and their tablets and their phones, texting, calling. They don't even communicate with you anymore. So it's about you as a parent to be educated about how the new generations are, so you can become more literate about that, and then connect, communicate with them in the same level.
So what do we need to understand about this next generation? And because they are the digital generation, where they are growing up thinking it's normal to have their lives up on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook Live, that's very normal. What do we need to understand about the way their brains work to help them gain that self-esteem? Because my concern is, and what I've heard from a lot of parents, is that due to social validation online, that 100% of their identity and ego is being built from that social validation. So how, as parents, can we help them build that aside from technology?
First of all, we need to understand that, for example, puberty, thanks to technology, is now 2 years earlier than it was before in our time. Yeah,
Wow.
So that is huge. So hormonal changes are extremely dramatic now, because now let's say that we had a girl that her period came in our age at 13 years old. Now it's coming at 10 years old, and it's also because the food, it's also because the internet, the marketing, and all that stuff. They want to grow up earlier, so it's complicated. So that's why we need to know the dangers of the internet, the good stuff about the internet. We have to be monitoring the internet and every single tablet or screen that the kids have access to. So because we need to be informed about what are they doing online. So also is nowadays, for example, the ones that manage the market, and the market is targeting the kids, because they are the ones that have, they are pretty much, they can make decisions on what to buy or where to buy or exactly what they want, because the marketing is targeting directly, bypassing the parents, because they don't have they have the tablets now. The kids have the screens in front of them, and they now want whatever they want. So that's when we need, as a parents, to be informed exactly, teaching, educating our kids When they know their self-esteem, they know their boundaries, they know their rules, they know the regulations about you, your expectations of them, then they will be able to behave. Because if you don't draw that line, it's going to be so complicated, and it's going to be driven just by their friends, by their social media, by their connections, by their internet, and all that stuff. So as a parent, we need to be aware of all that, but let them grow, let them be individuals. So don't overstep and don't overwhelm them, because otherwise we're going to have the contrary, the different effect.
Where they're rebelling.
Correct. So it's going to be even worse. But for that, we need to educate ourselves. As I say, we are in totally different generation and different time that we were before.
So let's translate this into a scenario. Let's say a young family with kids who are under the age of 5 years old. They're trying to instill healthy habits in their kids. They are trying to give them healthy foods, vegetables, and the kids are throwing a fit. They just want their mac and cheese and their pizza and their French fries. How can parents handle this situation using what you just described of expectations, setting the standard for discipline and things like that? How do we be strong without being overboard?
First of all, we need to know what the habit loop is, because that is a habit. For example, if we're giving them mac and cheese, it's because we are tired, because we just need the fast food, and that's it. We need to feed the kids. Even if it's plastic food, we feed them. That's it.
Right.
So, the habit loop, it has a cue, it has the routine, and it has the reward. So the cue is they are hungry, period. They want to have food. So the routine is when you make the mac and cheese and they eat it. And the reward is they are full. They feel satisfied and they are happy. So when you change entirely that habit is when the problem comes. So now that you know how the habit loop works. So when you can serve the mac and cheese, okay, serve the mac and cheese. But make one small change. Serve on the side or perhaps mixed the broccoli. So, okay, there is one ingredient, additional ingredient, and it's healthy ingredient. So do it one day, do it 1 week, but one little step at a time. You cannot change all of a sudden. Okay, instead of mac and cheese, I'm gonna give you kale plus broccoli, and serve it and expect them to eat it and eat it happy. No, it's gonna be impossible. So just add that little thing. Perhaps you can juice. You can give them a juice on the side, as a green juice or fruit juice or any juice, but you made the juice. Okay, what happens there? It's going to change one step at a time, the habit, the eating habit. Second, they are going to see that you are interested in them. You are giving them time because you actually have time for them. If you invite them, so you create a new routine, if you invite them to help you prepare the mac and cheese with broccoli, they will have the opportunity to cut the broccoli, to see the broccoli, to break the broccoli, and mix it with the mac and cheese while you educate them about the broccoli. So they are going to love the flavor of broccoli because mommy is telling them how good it is. It's about the way you tell them the idea. So, because when you go to school, the kids are like, ew, broccoli, ew, kale, ew, everything is ew, you know? So when you give them that trust at home, they were going to trust you, and they are going to follow your instructions. You know, it's about the way, it's like a salesman. If somebody is pushing you to buy a car, obviously, even if you like it, you're not going to buy it because you're like, no, you know, nobody's forcing me to do anything I don't want to. So, but when you give them that opportunity to be open, to be active into their routine, into the new routine, is recreate the habit, the previous one into a new one, a healthy one. And then the next time, perhaps you're going to change the mac and cheese and you're going to change it for a spaghetti. Perhaps that is, it doesn't have at least the cheese. So it's going to be different, you know. So you can include that into a play. And then now that you have the broccoli, include perhaps the kale, include tomatoes, include, you know, the rainbow. Because the thing is that food comes in different shapes and different forms. So give them the options for them to explore, to combine, to play around. So it's like that. It's allow them, because they are kids, allow them to explore their curiosity. So it's make the food an adventure. So it's not an obligation, but it's an adventure.
Yeah, well, and I love that you say that, because now I'm having a few scenarios pop in my head, experiences with my nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. I've always, ever since I was a little kid, I've enjoyed playing with my food, and that has not changed as an adult. I love to play with my food and make things. I'm very creative. And when I'm with my nieces and nephews, we're eating healthy foods together. I teach them to make stories with their foods, and we find that it helps them eat the food. And you tell a story like, okay, here's the big green Hulk of avocado, and he's going over to the mountain of broccoli, and, fun things like that. So what I hear you saying is we need to tap into their creative space, because they are in a different frame of mind.
Totally. And we need
are there any other...
the same level. We need to go and go into the same level. Just perhaps you don't remember, or perhaps you do. Go back when you were 5 years old, when you were 10 years old. How did you feel? So just go back, so then you will be able to have that empathy, that connection to that moment and to your own child.
Right. Okay, so what about people who, let's say I'm working with an adult. This has happened many times. I'm working with somebody on their fitness level, and let's say they're wanting to take their fitness to a little bit upper echelon, a little more aggressive of a look, maybe to look like a fitness model or something. And they bring up a concern that maybe their teenage daughters or even sons will watch their efforts and somehow come to the conclusion that they are not good enough, because if mom is working so hard to work on her body, then are they not approved of, or anything like that? What advice would you give to these mothers, or even fathers too, who have a desire to have a little bit more aggressive of a look? You know what I mean? Like a little more, I don't know how to describe that without just saying, like, a little more fit look. Is that a bad thing for children, or do we just need to approach it with sensitivity? Talk to me about that. How should we approach it?
The way you do it is you need to let your kid know first. So include it in your routine. Let him know what are you gonna do, what are your goals, and what are your expectations of your own self. Because that's your goal, that's your expectation. You want to look like a model, that's fine. Sometimes comparing to others, obviously that is no good. So be careful with what you're saying to your kids. So I'm going to be tiny. I'm going to be, let's say, size 8 or size 6 on a dress, and I'm going to look way better. I'm going to look like a model. Okay, that's fine. But you don't give him names, don't give him someone, because that way your kids are going to start telling themselves, okay, I'm going to look like The Rock, or I'm going to look like Cindy Crawford, I'm going to look like Beyonce, I'm going to look. So, no, they are who they are, and they need to love themselves for who they are. It's acceptable.
Their best self.
Exactly. So you need to give them those reinforcements. So they are going to be raising their own self-esteem, and you need to give them that encouragement to raise their own self-esteem. Tell them that they are beautiful the way they are. But then when they see your effort, obviously they're going to be so proud of you. Perhaps when you're exercising, they can help you exercising, either with counting your whatever. If you're doing sit-ups, okay, we're going to do 20 sit-ups. You want to do them with me, or do you want to count? So include them into their routine, so that way they will be able to explore hand in hand with you, laugh with you, enjoy with you, instead of criticizing or judging, because that's happening. They compare to you, and they want to be like you. So if you want them to be like you, make everything a play. Invite them, regardless of the age. They are going to love it. For example, my son, when I practice yoga, he sits with me, he laughs with me. We do it. We do it together the way that he wants to do it. Otherwise, no, he won't do it, period, But it's not me telling him, okay, this is what you have to do. No. Respect their time, respect their moments, respect them, because they are individuals, and they deserve respect. And that's what we're parents we as a parent, we don't understand. They are not us. They are pretty much like borrowed, and they need to learn how to develop their own individuality, their own independency. So they need to. So if we allow them, to participate into our routines and the dynamics of our exercising, and we share those goals, they are learning extremely valuable lessons because they know that you need work, that you need to give yourself time. So it's patience. It's not like, okay, I'm going to be doing abs today and tomorrow I'm going to have my six packs. No, because they are learning that you need to be constant, to be working every single day to make it happen. Then they are learning the value of goals. You need to have goals in life to accomplish something, So the value of timing, organizing your timing, because if you are consistently doing 1 hour a day, they know that 1 hour a day for 6 months, you're going to have a beautiful body. So they are seeing you moving forward and accomplishing goals. So they are learning so many tools for life skills.
Right.
It's beautiful in so many ways, but you need to include them, never judge them, never raise their self-esteem. Obviously, you have to raise their self-esteem as you play all together.
Oh, that's beautiful advice. And so I love also the thought that it's helping them see a goal being reached from the beginning, that it's broken down into little goals, that it must be persistently done, that it's a constant effort. The final question I wanted to ask is about protecting children from the negative influences of the media on body image, both for the extreme of like fitness models and, all these magazines, but as well as the extreme apathetic, where we are seeing all over Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest these, I can't even say succulent, they're horrendous to me, horrendous desserts and foods that I am looking at I'm looking at the people sharing these going, my gosh, palm to forehead, we cannot eat this food, you guys. It's almost like we're worshiping food. So how do we protect kids from either sides of those extremes and help them assimilate healthily in this world?
Basically, it's education and self-esteem. When you know your kid is, for example, mine yesterday was showing me a pizza made out of different colored cheeses and stuff like that. But he knows that he wouldn't eat that, but he was kind of like laughing and he was enjoying the video, but at the end, obviously, he's not going to eat something like that. So it's about when you communicate with them, when they know exactly, when they participate on those roles that we were talking about, when the mac and cheese and all that stuff, now they know they have the tools to discern. They know that it's good or it's bad. Obviously, they are going to be bombarded regardless. They are going to be bombarded.
They will be.
Exactly. But it's the choice that they have based on your education that they will say, no, this is not something that I will eat. I enjoy, seeing the video, laughing and joining my friends in laughing and in the moment. But that's something that I won't eat, period. But it's because you gave them that opportunity to be part of how the process is, what it is, the process and the momentum of the making the meal, making the food, and enjoying. And like you say, playing around. So they had that knowledge and they know how they feel about it, because it's about emotional intelligence too. Once you give them, the food and they know that they need to eat just because they are hungry, no because of comfort, then you are giving them the right tools and into the right track.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and pause and head into this commercial that tells us where we can get more of this nutrition education so that us parents can help the children.
Sounds good.
When you eat real food in a strategic and scientific way, you'll be in balance, satisfied, and experience significantly reduced cravings. The Power Foods lifestyle is a system of scientific principles, packaged in a way that will help you understand how to fuel your body in a way that's best for you. You'll be amazed how much food you can eat when you're eating nutrient-dense food. You don't have to give up dining out or traveling. The PFL recipe books will help you begin cooking simple but delicious recipes for you and your family. You don't have to be a chef or a nutritionist to start fueling your body for more energy, better health, and in many cases, fat loss. Head over to the products page of www.body-buddies.com to start on your lifestyle change today.
All right, so I hope each of you will take advantage of this opportunity to start educating yourself. It's been amazing for me to hear about the benefits of learning the simple truth in a strategic manner of the Power Foods lifestyle. So, Monica, we have learned so much from you today, and my brain is just exploding with even more questions. But I have a feeling our listeners are also going to have questions. Now, you have a free gift for them. Why don't you tell them what you are willing to offer? They're going to be excited.
Absolutely. I have for your fans, Kristy, a beautiful gift today. You can go to Monica, Monica, Obando, Obando.com/Body Buddies podcast to participate in a raffle of one of free online coaching sessions with me. So that's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's so exciting. So you guys go there. I will have the link in the show notes as well as all the social media feeds, however you found this podcast. If you found this podcast organically, head over to Facebook and Instagram. Body Buddies is all over there. Monica, are you on social media as well? Why don't you tell us where you are at with your digital footprint?
Facebook is Monica Obando Hypnotherapy. On Twitter, I am as Mobando Coach, Mobando Coach. So you can join me there. So, and I am launching now a program, a parenthood program. It's called The Power of Parenthood. So there is going to be a waiting list on my website, www.monica, Monica, Obando, Obando.com. So you can see the signing list. It's on the waiting list. It's on the left of the page. So you can enjoy that, learn and enjoy all the benefits of becoming a more conscious parent with the program.
Oh, that sounds like an amazing opportunity for all of our listeners. And my hope is that each of them will take advantage of this, because we know, as this conversation has gone on today, we know we are raising kids in a very turbulent world with a lot of challenges. We've got the issues of technology. We've got the issues of just the internet alone is powerful. But then we have all sorts of mixed ideas about what health is. We have all sorts of unhealthy options out there. Our entire food industry has become corrupt. And so we've got some obstacles to navigate, and we can use all the mentoring and coaching we can get to help us raise healthy, happy children. So, Monica, thank you for being here with us. Do you have any parting words of advice?
Just educate yourself as a parent. You have the great opportunity nowadays with the internet. You can go and search for good tips, good ideas about parenting, how to be a good parent, and always be yourself first. When you have the opportunity to know yourself, to meditate on your own self, within yourself, when you know yourself, everything in the world is going to be way, way easier for you, because you will know what you want and who you want to be. So you can pass on that information into your kids.
Beautifully said. Well, thank you so much, and we hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you, Kristy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. You can learn more about Body Buddies and Power Foods Lifestyle by going to www.body-buddies.com, BODY-BUDDIES.com, and powerfoodslifestyle.com. That's www.POWERFOODS-lifestyle.com.
Information in this episode is provided for informational purposes and is not meant to substitute the advice provided by your own physician or other medical professional. Information and statements regarding dietary supplements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.